Hey, it's Carrie Van Ice here at Get Your Vibe Right. And in my last video, I used a thimble to talk about how we get too attached to an outcome and how it limits what the universe has to work with to give us what we want. So I thought in this video, I would focus on an exercise that you could do if you're still struggling with this concept and you're pretty committed to exactly the way something needs to unfold for you to be comfortable with it. So instead of limiting the universe, I have an exercise for you that you can use that will help you release your grip on the way that things need to go in order for you to feel success, okay? So you definitely want to have a specific goal in mind if you're going to use this exercise. So this is something that you have a plan. It is laid out. You know for the next several months, even up to a year, that this is exactly how things are going to unfold. And you're very, very attached to the unfolding looking just like this. This is a way to just have different thoughts and ideas around it. And that allows the universe much more material to work with. So if you have a goal in mind that you're looking at doing in the next 3, 6, 12 months, then this is an exercise you can use, okay? What you're gonna do is, and this comes with a little warning. So we don't wanna confuse the universe, right? We wanna make sure that we're keeping that goal in mind. We're just gonna play a little game with how to get there. So let's say for the next week, because you don't wanna put too much confusion into the mix for the universe, you want to think of different ways that this could unfold. So I know you have a plan. I know you've worked hard. I know you've broken it down into steps. I know that you see a clear vision of the way that this is going to get you to the goal line. But if you're still struggling with something and it's not really going the way you want, this is the time to employ this exercise for the next week only. So not to confuse the universe, you want to take that concept or idea or goal and just think of any other way that it might come to you. Maybe you have a money goal and you know exactly how many clients you need to get in the next X amount of months to achieve your goal. You know how many widgets you need to sell in order to achieve that. Well, if the ultimate goal is money in the bank, maybe there's other ways that money could come to you. Maybe you could find out that there's money out there that you inherited somehow. Maybe you could win some money in some way. Maybe you could earn money in another way that's completely unknown to you that feels effortless. Right? There's all kinds of ways to get to the goal, but if we become so attached that no, it has to be this many clients or this many sales, that's what's going to get me there, you are in some ways limiting other avenues of abundance that the universe could open up for you. So this is just a way to practice letting go of what it looks like to get the result that you really want, right? So maybe it's a relationship goal, and maybe you are online dating and you have given yourself an assignment that you are going to meet 15 new people in the next month so that you can find the one. So now you're committed, which is great. There's nothing wrong with this. It's great to have a plan laid out, but now you're committed to this one path for having the universe move the right person into your experience. So instead of looking at it that way, maybe you just go do something that you totally enjoy. You go to a concert and the right person happens to be sitting next to you or getting some refreshments at the same time you are. Or maybe there's a friend of a friend that you haven't heard about yet that might be perfect for you. So just being open. So this is really just a mental game to play. It would actually even be more powerful if you were to do this as a written exercise and write down all the different ways that your goal could actually materialize for you, ways that you never could have thought of. Miracles happening. This is actually how you open yourself up to those miracles, is that you let go of the one way this has to come to you, and you let the universe play with all of those infinite resources that it has, that it can move people and money and experiences into your path that can line you up with what it is you really want. So I said this comes with a warning. You don't want to confuse the universe, so you don't move the goalpost, don't change the goal. You're just looking at different ways that you can get there, potentially. Completely random and unknown ways to you. It's like giving the universe permission to bring it to you. However, it doesn't really matter, and it could be even easier than you thought it was going to be. Okay? And you also want to make sure that every possibility that you are giving the universe feels good, because that's the whole point. Wouldn't it feel better to inherit $500,000 than earn $500,000? Maybe. Maybe you love what you do. Maybe it would feel better to earn it than inherit it. We all have our different feelings, right? But if that money could just flow into your experience without any effort, that would probably feel better than having sales calls with potential clients, right? If you could just run into that person at the coffee shop instead of having to line up all these dates and go on all these prospective partner interviews, essentially, that would be so much better. So the ideas that you come up with, they get to be fun. They get to feel easy. They get to feel expansive. You get to turn it over to the universe and say, I don't care how I get it. All I care is that I get it, and that I get to feel good in the getting of it. And I get to feel even better when I've actually achieved it. So that is the goal. If you missed my previous video, why don't you go back and check that out? You'll see it. It's the one with me holding a thimble. And I'll explain the backstory to this one. But if you're just ready to go, you can take this exercise and you can employ it today. But remember, small doses, and don't move the goalpost on the universe. This is not about confusion. This is about clarity, expansion, and unexpected ways that these things could show up for you.
I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night.